Hello, welcome back to another episode of Two Idiots Doing a Sports Podcast. I am Nate, joined by Daniel, my co-host, and per usual, haven't mentioned it a bit, we're on a quest to prove, if I can talk, that we know ball more than the average ESPN, Fox, what other channel analyst out there. And the guy I'm going to call out today is Rob Parker, mostly because, I will not let him live down the fact that in 2019, with 8 playoff teams left, he put the Patriots dead last as the worst team left in the playoff standing. And guess who won the Super Bowl? New England. He put them behind the Chargers, who got smoked in this game, by the way. Got obliterated. So, nice job with that one, Rob. You can show your hate all you want, and maybe you can think they're overrated, but wow, a just freezing cold take. He's a moron. So, just had to throw shade at him. So, today, we're going to do a lot of our normal stuff. Immaculate Grid, Pickle, Batter Up. Hopefully those go better. Hopefully at least Immaculate Grid. I know Daniel kind of carried in Pickle and Batter Up last week. We're going to do Randomized Championship again. Hopefully we get one in the relevant time frame and not 1950s again. We'll see. And then we got a lot of baseball stuff. White Sox fans taunting Marte. Rangers and Mariners series. And let Daniel cover what's going on in that. It feels like a playoff series. It's a pretty important one. Post Pickle, Kumar. Out of context, that sounds wild. We'll get into that. And if we have time, we'll have fantasy updates, of course. And maybe even some MVP baseball. Just talk, since I've been grinding that game out. For the NHL and NBA, both had the draft, so we'll get into that. Idiot or stupid person of the week for NHL. I will go into that in a minute. It was on the Blackhawks fan page. Shout out, guys. What a stupid fan. And we had a trade. We had a couple, but the main relevant one being John Gibson for NHL, and if we get time for NBA, Colin Sexton going to the Hornets. If not, those will be talked about next week. So, also the Mavs getting a B for their draft grade. So we're gonna let Daniel react to that. So, despite drafting Cooper Flag, they didn't mess it up, but we'll see. So we are going to kick things off with Immaculate Grid per usual. And I think I picked last time because I was glazing Cal per usual, and it did not go great. So I'm gonna let you pick this week's grid.
Oh, Elvis Andrus just got put into the Ranger Hall of Fame, so we gotta do something with the number 1. We'll make it easy. 801.
801, baby, a recent one. So we can't necessarily cheat our way out of this one. That's Rookie of the Year. Oh no!
Not another one.
All right, so the rows are Baltimore, the Mets in Rookie of the Year, Dodgers for the column. Played second base one game. I know the Rookie of the Year for second base. It's just going to be... Actually, it might not be the most picked one. And the last column is 300 batting average season along with Rookie of the Year. Oh my gosh. Okay. Can we knock out the teams? Possibly. I'm thinking Dodgers, Mets maybe. We can start there.
Bordeaux.
Did Bartolo didn't play for either of these two. Chase Utley, no. Oh, Jeff Kent. Wait, I don't know if he played for the Mets. Crap.
Michael Conforto.
Conforto for Dodgers, Mets?
He's currently on the Dodgers.
Yeah, we can do that.
I just feel like it may be a...
I don't think it's going to be... I guarantee it's going to be 9 to 10%. Lock it in.
Okay.
Even lower than I thought. There's definitely bigger names that come to mind for me. And so that's kind of why I figured I felt like it was pretty safe to go with Conforto there. Mets second base played one game. How obscure can we get here? Did David Wright ever play second? Probably not. If you're going to play third, you're probably going to play the other corner or just get moved to DH eventually.
Acuna Jr., but he's currently on the roster.
Yeah. Well, I think, again, there's probably, when it's just minimum one game, they're probably going to pick the biggest names here. And there's going to be a lot of names thrown out too, so it's not necessarily a terrible idea to just throw out Acuna if you can't think of anybody else. Did David Murphy play for the Mets?
Who?
Or Daniel Murphy.
Oh, Daniel? Yeah, he did.
Did he play second, though?
He played all over the infield.
I'm going to lock in Daniel Murphy, then. I feel pretty confident that's going to be less obscure than Acuna. Yeah, 5%.
As I said, he played most of his career with the Mets at...
Yeah. See, I remember...
The World Series team, he was playing second base.
He was second, yeah. I thought so. I knew he was like a utility guy. I just couldn't remember, sometimes utility guys skip one position, and I didn't want to, the one position second. Yeah.
And third.
Okay.
I don't think he ever played short. I don't think he was athletic enough.
See, and that's why I was like, did he not play short, or did he not play second? I know it felt like he skipped one of them, but 300 batting average season. I wish it was right now, because Pete Alonso's raking. And we haven't picked him in one of these yet, but that's okay. Dude, I wish I could remember, like, pitchers. I don't know if the Mets have ever had a 300 pitcher hit 300, though.
Probably not.
I know if this was with the Cubs, Carlos Zambrano had. He did. That dude was a menace. He had 6 homers in 1 year. I remember thinking this guy was a monster. So I know the Cubs have had a guy that done it, but I don't know about the Mets. So, but that would be like a really easy one to get like less than 1% if you can name a pitcher that's done it.
Yeah. I just don't know.
If this is Giants, Madison Bumgarner might have too. He might have. I don't think he did, but that dude can rake too. But that's off topic. Chris Davis. There's no way. Okay, well, this is what I was thinking for Rookie of the Year and played second base one game. I was thinking Dustin Pedroia. I'm fairly certain he won Rookie of the Year. I know he won an MVP. Oh, did he win Rookie of the Year? He might not have, because his MVP was like his second year in the league. Or second full season. I'll come back to that. Rookie of the Year scares me, man. Let's see. There's got to be just Jose Reyes. I feel like Reyes or Beltran ever did it.
I am not sure.
We'll come back to it. Can we get Dodgers Baltimore? This is another team I need to study up on. Or Dodgers Rookie of the Year. Or, you know what? Let's start with Baltimore and play second base one game. I'm sure we can do that. I'm sure. Did J.J. Hardy ever play second? I know he played shortstop a lot. J.J. Hardy might have been pre-ball knowledge for you, though. I don't remember. No?
I think he played short.
I know he played short.
Wrong.
I know he played short. I just don't know if he ever got moved to... It's just got to be one game.
Yeah.
I feel like he had to have, but it just... He wouldn't have played third a lot because of Machado. So if he got moved around, I feel like he would got moved to the other side. That's why I'm leaning towards JJ. But we could try to name someone else.
Yeah. Jorge Mateo is one that
We could just...
pretty sure.
We could just go Jorge if you feel confident in that.
I'm not.
You did say pretty sure, so...
I'm 90% sure.
90% is good enough for me. Boom. 3%. Nice job. Let's look really quickly. JJ Hardy.
Because when Henderson came back, Mateo went to second.
Oh, why? I don't know why I said Hardy was pretty ball for. He was literally playing as we were at ACU. He retired right midway through our studies there. Yeah, he retired in 2017. He was there for a long time. I forgot how long he was there. He played for the Twins? I don't remember that. I knew he started in Milwaukee and then went to Baltimore. I didn't realize that was a... He had to have played second base once. once. But it has to be with Baltimore. That's the thing. I don't know if he ever did it with Baltimore. I feel like he had to have, though. Try to find really quickly. Standard fielding. No. Holy crap. He never played another position. Wow.
He only played short?
He only played short. Bro was locked in. I mean, I knew he was pretty nasty. He has 3 gold gloves. So, he was pretty nasty at short. I just thought they might have moved him around from time to time. Yeah, that's insane. He's pinch hit a few times and been a pinch runner 5 times, but no other position. That's wild. Well, I'm glad we went with your guy. You were locked in. I clearly wasn't. Batting, dude. I want to do. Was Chris Davis batting 300 his home run year? I don't know. I don't think he was. There's no way. No, he probably still struck out like 150 times. He just happened to hit 50 homers. Adam Jones, I feel like, had to have, right? I don't know, though.
Yeah,
I kind of want to go Adam Jones.
honestly, that's probably going to be our best bet, other than Cal, but Cal's going to be a higher one.
I'll give it a shot. Did Atlee do it last year?
No, I don't think so.
I'll give it a shot. I think he's been mostly like a 280 hitter, though. But I think... Yeah. I didn't think so. Crap. How close was he? I gotta stop getting distracted like this, but I'm just curious. He was close. He just... Yeah, he was a 280. I literally said it. I should have trusted my gut. He 280 multiple times, but he's never even gotten 290. Dang it.
Dang.
That's okay. I should have trusted my instinct. That's okay. We can still try to get Baltimore, LA, or just move on to... You know what? This might be a lost cause, so I'm going to try Jose Reyes. Alright, I was locked in for Jose. I figured. Jose was a beast. Alright, so I got
I
that.
was gonna say, he had some pretty good. Oh, why? Okay, obviously for the Baltimore Dodger one, I remember you saying Machado. Machado's the biggest one.
I feel like for the sake of time, I'm just going to do Machado. Yeah, it's the big one, but I'm okay with it. The thing is, I'm okay with it because everybody else is under 10%. We're going to miss one, but we have a lot of decent rarity picks here right now that I'm just okay with just going with Machado. Plus, we haven't picked Machado yet, so it's like, I'm okay with it. Rookie of the year, here we go.
Rookie of the year, 300 average each year. Because wasn't that the year he also
Excuse
won
me.
Rookie of the Year and MVP?
I think so. It would have been, what, 2001?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to have, because that was their 116-win team. If you can make the World Series, unbelievable. Most wins of all time. Can't get past the dang Yankees. Okay, the other one is Jackie Robinson, I imagine, right? Although I don't know, because voters may have been bigots back then, so
Yeah.
I'm a little hesitant to pick Jackie. He probably had the numbers to quantify it. I just don't know if he got picked.
You know what? In honor of him, do it.
I'm just going to do Jack. Okay. That's fair enough. All right. The voters. Okay. Voters weren't. But they weren't racist. Well, not completely racist. They at least gave it to him. I'm sure they were not the best of people. But hey, the fact that he got it. Dodgers Rookie of the Year. Did Bellinger do it?
I don't know.
I think he did.
Yamamoto didn't because of Skeens.
Oh, did Yasiel Puig win it? I think Puig might have.
I think Puig did.
I'm going to go Puig. Screw that bum. Oh, but he did... Wait, no, he started with the Dodgers. Yeah. Dang it.
Ooh,
he didn't. I remember he came onto the scene. That's a tough one. If we have time, I kind of want to redeem myself. That was a tough one. Rookie of the Year is hard. How much you want to bet, though? I guarantee you Cody Bellinger did. I guarantee you. I'm going to be so mad. I'm going to be... Can I look up Cody Bellinger awards? Oh, yep. Oh, no. What? Yeah, hang on. Let me scroll. NL Rookie of the Year. Gosh dang it! Alright, so I'm going to call that Mickey Mouse. I literally said, I know he did. I'm going to call that one. So I'm going to say we got 8 out of 9. Because I said, in confidence, that Bellinger had done it. But I got a little greedy. That's okay. Not our best score, but it would have been better if we did go with what's-his-face. So, of course, I have to glaze Cal to start things off. I mean, come on. Y'all know by now. So it's either the AL... Let's try an NL West guy. From America.
Jackson Merrill.
And you got a glazed Jackson Merrill, so it's perfect. Nope, it's an AL guy. Alright, so let's try an AL East player. So let's go Garrett. Oh, but he throws right. No, I'm not gonna go Garrett. So he bats right and throws right. Let's see. Rondon throws lefty. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do Stroman.
Marcus, he's still in the league? Bruh.
Yeah.
Bomb. Alright, so it's AL Central. It is a starter, though.
Okay.
Could it be, he throws left. I need to watch games more.
Seth
Could it be an...
maybe? How old is Luke? Or Mize, yeah.
Mize is, I'm not going to do Casey because we know it's AL Central. It has to be AL Central. And the fact that the age is not within 2 years, he's the same age as Cal. It can't be him. Could be Woods Richardson. I'm gonna try Simeon Woods Richardson here. Dang it. That was a good guess, but
25.
It could be 23. It's got to be 23. It could be 23. It's within 2.
Well,
oh no, you're right, because
22
and it's not 20. You're right. It has to be 25. You're right. But it's not Twins, so... Oh, don't be White Sox. Don't be White Sox. It's gonna be White Sox.
Smith. I think it's... There's a White Sox pitcher with the...
Oh, Shane Smith?
Shane Smith, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that might be him. You're a genius! I nailed it, though. I did say it.
This is gonna be my hot take. He should be an all-star.
I think, yeah. I should have thought about that. He is kind of cooking. So, dubs in the chat for him. But for right now, I know this is not Cal, but again...
Dubs and L's for him. Because Dubs doing well. L, he plays for the White Sox.
So true. Screw the White Sox and their poverty franchise. So, I'm going to try NL West really quick. Lefty. I know Freddie doesn't bat that way, but I'm just tempted to just throw out Freddie Freeman just to see if it's an NL West guy. Oh, I forgot Freddie's Canadian. Stupid Canadian.
I was going to say Gavin Lux, but he's not in the...
No, we've had Gavin Lux before, too. Yeah, and he's a Red.
It's not Michael Tolia either. Tolia stands more straight up.
I'm going to try this. Dang. Okay, so it's not NL West. So we know that.
Pasquantino. Nope, never mind. Pasquantino's a
nope. So it's going to be AL Central or AL East. David Ortiz. Nailed it.
Stephen Kwan. He's American.
Oh. My GOAT. I had him in fantasy his rookie year. Okay, it is AL Central, though.
He plays outfield.
Dude, if it's the White Sox again, I swear. Buxton's righty, right?
Yeah. Try Kerry Carpenter, maybe?
Okay. I got 2 more guesses, but we have 3 more teams. That's rough. It is right field. So,
Who's the right fielder for the White Sox?
a player. That's for sure.
Okay.
The only guy I know in the
Is
outfield is Robert.
Oh, I don't know if
Or
Caglione is
Robert.
American.
Whatever it is.
Caglione doesn't sound American.
It could be. I think he played more first, though.
Caglione he's playing right field. That's, Caglione's stance is different. It's not him.
Okay. So it's between Royals, White Sox, and Twins. Oh, gosh.
Who's the Twins? Is that
And
Walner? Walner is the left, I think, the right fielder.
WALN.
Or 2 L's, maybe?
There we go. I'll give it a shot. Oh, we're cooked.
It's the White Sox. Has to be.
Gotta be kidding me. Bro, I don't know the freaking White Sox. I should. I live in the area now, but...
I'm gonna throw this out here. Since we don't know the White Sox, Michael Massey.
Give it a shot. Nope. Those White
Talkman?
Sox, unbelievable. I forgot about Mike Talkman.
He plays
Okay.
right field for them? I thought he played first base.
This is why I'm kind of convinced this site is janky.
Okay.
It's been pretty sus with some of this stuff, but you never know. I mean, it's the White Sox. Come on. That was unbelievably rude, what they did to us. But anyway. Next is NFL ranked. So we're going to go through our list here. I'm going to share my screen really quick to the randomizer podcast wheel. But for those who don't know, we're ranking teams from most to least likable, as objective as possible. Obviously, there's going to be controversy with these no matter what. But we're just kind of going off basis, recent success, any recent scandals, fan base is a big factor, and just overall suffering. Have you suffered a lot? Have you not suffered a lot? So, I know there's a couple teams that have suffered a lot that we haven't listed yet, but there's other factors going into that, and that might get listed today. But as a reminder, we're going to go over here and list off our list of teams that have been named. So, Jags, Texans, Lions, Panthers, Cardinals. This is in order, by the way. Chargers, Falcons, Colts, Titans, Vikings, Browns, Commanders, Bucks, Dolphins, Bills, Bengals, Broncos, Seahawks, Ravens, and Rams. So I'm going to just type this up really quick, 21 through 24. And so now I have a decision to make. Do I really want to go with this team? I think I have to. It's hard because of what they did, but I'm going to put the Saints here. It might be a little crazy. Bonnygate is kind of just left a sour taste in everybody's mouth. Thing is, they probably should have been listed a little bit sooner. They've just gone through a crap ton. I feel like Katrina probably should have countered this a little bit, to be honest. We probably should have listed them sooner just because of Katrina. But it's not something I really thought about until now. But, yeah, Bonnygate really hurt them here. But overall, just post-Drew Brees and pre-Drew Brees, this organization has just really been a mess. More so pre-Drew Brees. They're just kind of lingering in no man's land right now. But one Super Bowl, you did have that. It's just covered in controversy with Bonnygate, as we've mentioned like 50 times. So I think ultimately, fans aren't terrific, but they're not horrible. They have gone through a lot. Yeah, I think it's just hard to justify putting them below any other team that we have left, in my opinion. And again, probably should have put them at least above the Seahawks and below. But, I think Bonnygate it really stirs some pots, a lot of people. So, that being said, it has been 15-ish years. So at some point, people got to let it go. And yeah, so Saints, I'm putting here at 21. So who are you going with at 22?
Yeah. This is where we get dicey. I've been
It's
over
getting
here
tough.
looking at the standings predictions pretty much the whole time you were explaining your reason and still trying to figure out
It's hard.
who I want to put over here.
Here, well, I'll give you a little bit more time. I'll list the teams that are left. So at least gives you a little bit of time to think. So the team left, those you don't know, Patriots, they're going to sit for a bit. They're sitting for a bit. Steelers, they could come off the board soon, but I think they're going to wait a little bit. Nobody in the AFC South. And then the Chiefs, obviously, and the Raiders. So that's it for the AFC. The NFC East is everybody but the Commanders, and rightfully so. NFC North is Packers and Bears. NFC South is all done, finally. And the NFC West still has the 49ers. I believe everybody else is out of the NFC West. So those are the teams still waiting to be picked.
The Jets are also still waiting to be picked.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to mention the Jets.
Okay. I mean, it's hard to not.
It's hard to remember the Jets. Maybe that's why they should.
You know what?
Man.
I am going to put Green Bay here.
Woo! There's a lot of memes on the Packers, man. There are a lot of haters, but I will let you. I'll let you cook.
I just feel like I'm looking at the rest of these teams. I can't make a case for any of the other ones to go ahead of them. I feel like there's more haters for a lot of these other teams. I feel like maybe other than one, but yeah, I just feel like I think it's cool that once again they're one of the only ones owned by the fans and the people of their city. And I think that's honestly probably one of the coolest things, and probably why it puts things for me a little higher than
a little higher. I do agree with
some
that.
of the other ones. I know they haven't been as successful lately, but they're still a playoff team. It's still a
Routine.
relevant team in the NFL. And I mean, since Aaron Rodgers left, I feel like a lot of the heat, unless you're from the NFC North, has died down on them. They went through a little bit of a bad boy phase with Favre and Rodgers, but I mean, I like Love. I feel like he's a good guy. Probably hated on a little bit more than he deserves. Honestly, I don't see them currently right now as bad as the Bears or Patriots or anyone in the NFC East. The only other team I could see is Pittsburgh. But yeah, I'm gonna put Green Bay. I feel like a lot of their memes are hilarious. Does still have it. But I feel like out of the teams that we have left, I feel like they're probably the least.
It's hard. There are three teams I was debating Green Bay, and right now I am debating between two, Chicago and the Jets. I think just what makes it so hard for them is you're a massive market, and massive market, no matter how bad you are, generates a lot of hate. But both franchises, really both cities, besides the Yankees and the Blackhawks of the 2010s, these cities have suffered a lot. Bulls of the 90s too, but the Cowboys of the NBA, to be honest. But we'll get into that conversation a different time. But man, you just talk about, I mean, Bears can't draft a quarterback for squat. They just can't figure it out. But every time they draft a guy, they get into this phase of, oh, this is the guy, we're going to win the Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. Bears fans hype themselves way over the top and annoys people. And it always fails. It always fails. And right now, Caleb should not have been taken. I always said you should have taken Jaden Daniels. But that being said, it's a quarterback killer for the franchise. Can't necessarily say he would have the same success there. The other team debate is the Jets. They've gone through, oh my, I gotta go Jets. I'm putting the Jets here. I was gonna pick Chicago, but I think Chicago likes to hold on to every little thing that they have as long as they can. And I just don't understand why people will give Cowboy fans crap for that and never Chicago. At least to the extent of Dallas. And I know, granted, a lot of Cowboy fans, I mean, we them boys, this is our year. They do the same thing every year. But Chicago kind of does too. It's kind of crazy how many times I've seen on Facebook, oh, Caleb Williams broke this record. Congratulations. He threw 20 touchdown passes, whatever it was. Look out. Everybody's trembling that Caleb Williams finally, did this for a stupid team. But that's why I can't put the Bears here. They need to be picked soon, but Jets fans have gone through so much. They went through the butt fumble, the worst play in NFL history, undisputed. If you dispute otherwise, you're just wrong. There's no justifying what Mark Sanchez did there. He handed it off the wrong way and ran into a guy's butt. You can't make that up. Jet fans go through so much, coach fire after coach fire, and, sometimes it's justified. You could say Salah was fired prematurely. You had the Rodgers media hype, and that failed. So I do feel a little bad for Jets fans for that reason. They've gone through so much. That being said, it's still hard to put them this high, but I had to. They are a massive market, and it's easy to make fun of massive markets, but the Jets are in their own category, man. They've just 1960 whatever, 9, something like that. Last time they won a Super Bowl. So you guys, I'm starting to think it's going to be another 50 for you. So we're going to put the Jets 23. Long story. I'm putting the Jets here. Who you got at 24? It's hard.
It's difficult. I mean, because you could easily, honestly, I mean, maybe not easily, but you can make a similar debate for the Giants.
Yeah.
Especially since their last Super Bowl with Eli, and the amount of times they've literally fumbled draft picks, they've fumbled quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones being the most recent, deciding to take him over some other guys that were in that draft.
Letting Saquon go to Philly, embarrassing.
Yeah, saying Saquon isn't worth the money that he is wanting.
Oh my gosh.
And then he goes on to Philly, wins in the Super Bowl immediately. I feel like I'm gonna put the Giants here, just for what the fans have to go through, have had to go through. I think it's just the fact that their owner situation, maybe not their owner, the GM situation is horrendous. I don't even know how many guys they've gone through at this point, and nothing's worked. They don't, in my opinion, have a quarterback. I think Jackson Dart could be the guy, but he's got some development that he's got to go through. And as we know, the Giants are not
quarterback whisperers
great at developing those guys. Daniel Jones, for example, I feel like could have been a lot better, but they didn't do anything to help him or get the people around him. They let Saquon walk. They didn't get him receivers. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of those things may happen to Dart. So yeah, I feel like for the fans' sake, I'm gonna put the Giants here. I mean, when you can't beat anyone in your own division, it's tough.
Yeah.
And when
that is tough.
I don't think Dak has lost to the Giants in 6 years.
That's crazy.
So it's just horrible. You're at the bottom every time. No one wants to go to you. Just the whole situation. You don't have a good head coach, and somehow he still has a job. It's just the whole crappy situation. And I think they just fell this far once again because, they're in the same market, a big market, have the people should have the success, but that group of GMs, head coaches, coaches just in general, just have it absolutely horrific.
Well, I think the other reason they've fallen, I mean, you look at recent success, I know they've stunk the last 10 years, but people got to understand. This is not me being biased, by the way. I could very easily be biased about the Giants for two big reasons. But, I mean, those two big reasons are the reason why I held them back this long. They still have relative success. You know, you compare it to so many other teams, 2 Super Bowls and a Super Bowl appearance in my lifetime. So they've been to the big dance 3 times in about 30 years. That's not nothing. And now they are going in a direction where they're going to be like the Jets or Bills or some of these other organizations that haven't won in a long time or ever. They are headed in that trajectory. But I think the fact that you have those 2 rings, you still have something to cope with. It's just they've been such a disaster post-second Super Bowl. It just feels so forgettable, which is wild considering how monumental of those upsets were. I mean, they were significantly... the Giants' 07 upsets debated the greatest American sports upset of all time. So, maybe behind the 1980 U.S. Olympic team. So, that's why it was tough for me to put them, and they're kind of falling a little bit. But I mean, they're going through a lot of crap. But ultimately, you're a New York team, and you're in the NFC East. You're gonna fall for that automatically. So, we will cover 25 through 28 next week. We're gonna inch into the bottom 5. So pretty much the top 5 most hated teams in the league at this point. Next episode. Sorry, Bears fans, but I don't see you sliding much longer. It is a little crazy they've fallen this much, but Chicago is Chicago. And I know from firsthand experience that we can be a little intense. So next up, we are going to do our randomized championship. So if you don't know what this is, we spin a wheel, and depending on the league we land on, MLB, NBA, NHL, NFL, or WNBA, we try to guess the championship. And so we try to guess the teams in it, and we try to guess who won it. So last week was MLB 1957. Both of us got the Yankees in it, but we did not get the Braves winning the World Series. So the Milwaukee Braves, yes. So we're going to do 1904 to 2025, and if it lands on a year we've already done, you will just re-randomize it again. I said I'd have the stats updated, and I totally forgot because I was watching my dog for my brother. I'm going to do that first thing tonight. Gosh dang it, lock in, Nate. So the World Series. Yeah, oh, wait, hang on. I just automatically jumped to the year without picking the league. Whoops. So here we go. Come on. What league is it? It's probably going to be MLB. Oh. I'm glad I didn't. All right. I believe the first NBA Finals is 1947. So I'm going to type that in. Hang on. First NBA Finals. I believe it's first 1947. Look at me, ball knower. So first NBA Finals is 1947, and for clarification, the year we land on is the year the championship happened. So if it's 2025, it would be Pacers Thunder, because that's the year the championship took place, not when the season began. So it would, in that case, be 2024-2025 season. Just makes things easier. So the year we got, 1948. Bang! Crap. You know, it's crazy. I remember the first winner, but not the second. Actually, do I remember the first winner? I want to say... Oh, man, this is so bad. This is so bad. NBA Finals. This is our second NBA Finals. We haven't landed on an NHL one, by the way. It's kind of crazy. We have 7 MLB ones, 1 NFL, 1 NBA. We have not landed on NHL yet. Come on. 1948 for NBA. So, Nate. Daniel. I'm debating Wizards/Bullets here. Or is this the Hawks? This might be the St. Louis Hawks.
The St. Louis Hawks?
There was a team in St. Louis.
That's crazy.
Or they might not have been the Hawks. It was a St. Louis team, though. I'm gonna... Or did they win the first year? Crap! I'm gonna say St. Louis beats the Warriors. This one's tough. I don't believe it's the Lakers yet. The Lakers win a couple years later. It might be the Wizards or Bullets. That's the other team I'm debating. It might be the Bullets. I think they're known as the Bullets at this time.
Yeah. I'm going to go the Lakers of Minneapolis.
Okay. Yep, I'm going to just put Lakers asterisk.
Because they are not in LA at this time. And then
They're
I'm
not.
the Bullets, because that's honestly, I guess the Knicks are another team that...
Oh, crap, it could be the Knickerbockers.
I'm going to put the Knicks. I'm going to put the Knicks. Scratch that.
Yep. You going Lakers?
Who? Bullets to Knicks. I'm going to have... You know what? I feel like the Lakers during the early years of the finals were dominant. So I'm going to have the Lakers winning.
You have the Lakers beating the Knickerbockers.
Yeah.
So, all right, 1948 NBA Finals. Gosh, come on, baby. 1948 NBA Finals. I'm gonna be so mad. I think it might be the Bullets. Okay, I was so close. So, the Warriors and the Bullets faced off each other. The Bullets won! No! Dang it! Oh my gosh! I'm sick. I knew it. Why? I should have gone with it. Frick! I was 1 for 3 though. I did get the Warriors right. You got over 3. Oh crap! Dude, I'm gonna kind of cheat here. I'm giving me 1.5 out of 3. I said it might be the Bullets. In parentheses, said it might be the Bullets. ... It was the Bullets. Crap! I'm mad. Bullets beat Warriors. Gosh dang it! So I think St. Louis won 1947 then. I'm pretty sure. The Hawks won the first NBA championship. We'll see. I'm not going to look it up now. Oh, that's upset. The Rangers somehow aren't going to win tonight. There's bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 11th. What are you bums doing? That's okay. So that's our randomized championship. If we had time, we might do one more. We were close. I need to get like a 2 out of 3. I have a lot of 1 out of 3s right now. It's not good. So, but we are going to move on. And let me see. So we had the randomized championship. We're finally getting into our normal stuff. So we're going to go over some NHL stuff. I'll have you grade the Stars draft. You didn't draft until the 3rd round, I believe. I'll grade the Hawks draft, and we'll briefly go over Pittsburgh's draft. But I'll put it this way: Blake was not having a good night. He was not happy about that. So I'll start with grading the Blackhawks draft. I'm gonna give it. It was a fine draft. It was a risky draft. This is the kind of draft that can get a GM extended or fired. Kyle Davidson was going very risky here. So Anton Frendel, that was a solid B+ pick. People believe Higgins or Porter Martone were a better choice, but Frendel is a two-way forward. The Blackhawks don't have a lot of those. He's 6'1". He plays like he's a big player, from my understanding. So that's what the Hawks need. And they need a more defensive winger, and that's what he brings to the table. So I love the pick. Obviously, we wanted Michael Misa, missed out on that, but that's what we get for not sucking as much as San Jose. So, but I love that pick. The rest of our picks, hang on, let me just pull it up. Blackhawks picks. So, the next pick was around the 25th, where we took Valkav Mistral. Totally botched that, but he has played out of the USHL, right winger. He is 6'6", so we went for size here, which is what we needed badly. I love it, but my understanding is he could have fallen into the second round. He was an early second round guy, so it was a little bit of a reach. So I think that was I still think it's a decent pick because we need size. This is the controversial pick. We went Mason West, 29th overall. We traded up, traded our 34th pick, another second rounder, and our second rounder, I believe, and a fifth for a guy that might play quarterback, depending on how his senior year goes. So very dicey to move up for a guy that is a two-way athlete that we're not 100% certain he'll go into hockey, but we do know he's committed to Michigan State, so he's at least going to play hockey there for sure. But we just don't know if he's going to commit to hockey long term. So, but he is 6'6", and he compiled 114 points in 3 seasons he's played in 91 games. So he is a beast. He is big. He's quick, and he could throw the body. So I love this pick. Again, in a bad draft, you take risks in a generally known weaker class. So I think that's what you should do. Probably didn't need to trade up for him, but I'm going to trust that Kyle Davidson knew someone else was going to do it. So I think trading up wasn't the end of the world here. I'd still probably give that pick a B- to it could be an A+. So a lot of people are giving that a C. I think that's a little harsh, but it's understandable. And then my other favorite pick here, they drafted Nathan, so shout out W in the chat. That was a good pick. And then I won't really go over the rest of the guys. We drafted a guy named Ashton Cumby, so iconic, great name. Love it. I'm going to say this is hard. I'm going to be a little harsh. I'm going to say B-. It could be C+, because, again, this is a very risky draft. However, as I've mentioned multiple times, this is a weaker class. Would it have been better to just trade away picks and try to go into next year with the McKenna draft? Maybe, but this organization needed size. We got that. We got defensive, the two-way forward, I should say, not just necessarily defensive forward. Needed that. We covered some bases that we needed, and I liked that. And I like Kyle being risky here. That being said, it could get him fired because a few years under his belt now with this organization, we have not made progress to becoming better. And this year under Bedard, year 3, last year of his rookie contract, need to show that we can make progress. And if we don't, I know we're young and a lot of guys called up. I think he's got to go, but we'll see. So with a new head coach, things could change. So I'm gonna trust the process. I think it was an all right draft. How are you feeling about the Stars draft?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. We didn't have a pick until third round because of the Ramsden deal that we had. So we traded away a couple picks, including our first round for this year. Which honestly, like looking back on it, not honestly a bad thought because, like you said multiple times, this draft isn't super strong. I mean, you're taking a lot of, I feel like, risks, or more risk than you normally would higher in the draft, just because you don't know how some of these guys are going to pan out. I feel like the Stars kind of stole a guy with their third round pick, Cameron Schmidt. Apparently he was a top 40 player on the board, and he fell all the way to 94. And in Stars fashion, the Stars took him. The downside is he's small. He's, I think, 5'8". But honestly, we had Logan Stankoven. The dude is also very small and developed into the guy that we traded for Pico Raymond. So I feel like there's a lot of upside. The Stars are really good at developing their players, especially goal scorers. I think I saw somewhere where he had. Yeah, he had 40 goals, or more than 40 goals in the WHL. So he's a goal scorer. He's a point maker. So I think it replaces some of the depth that you may have lost in your
Mm-hmm.
system because of the Rantanen trade. Other than that, there's not really anyone else on this list that's very notable. We had a fourth round pick, 2 picks, and then a 6 and 7. Uh, I feel like we filled a couple forward. I mean, we were forward heavy in this draft, and I feel like
Yeah.
it's necessary because I feel like a lot of our forwards from our AHL team, especially, are going to be into the big
Mm-hmm.
league team. I think a lot of our guys, Lynn, Guru, a couple of those guys, maybe even Blumel, will be with the actual stars this year. So you got to kind of replenish those guys and develop some of these other guys, and just get younger again because we have depleted. No, I wouldn't say depleted, but we've pulled from our system the past couple of years, and because we've just developed them so well with Bork, Bishel, Johnston, Stankoven was one of them before he got traded, and we got a couple guys down. So I would say probably just a C plus. We don't know exactly what Schmidt is going to turn out to be, but because I feel like you got him at 94 or 95, yeah, 94, and he was a top 40 guy on the board, I feel like that's in itself worth a C plus.
Yeah, I think just not having your first couple picks definitely affects that a bit. But a brief shout out your GM named GM of the year once again. So that to me in itself automatically should give you a B in my opinion, because you know what you're doing. You just got to get the guys to get it done. This 3 Western Conference Finals losses in a row is not on Jim whatsoever. He's put the talent together. Guys just got to finish. So he just needs a better coach. But yeah, I mean, it's worth throwing away those top 2 picks when you have all your guys moved up and you have a championship window now established. So just gotta find a way to beat Edmonton or Vegas. So, but for Pittsburgh, strange draft. They were the most active in the draft. There's a lot of rumors. Could the Islanders move up to get Higgins? He's from New York. And that didn't happen. There were rumors that the Blackhawks and the hockey club could trade down with them. Obviously, didn't happen. There was rumors that Penguins could move up to try to get Roger McQueen. They did not do that. Although Roger was 1 pick away from them. Don't know why they didn't move up to try to get the guy they really wanted. But clearly they weren't salivating over that because they took Benjamin Kendall with their first overall pick, which I think... probably a B, C plus kind of pick. I think he's going to be a pretty talented guy, but he is 5'11", and a lot of teams had him lower on the board, so a bit of a reach. The next pick was Bill Zanin, and Blake and I just said, who? So I think it was another big reach with Pittsburgh. That to me is a D plus pick. I don't... Not familiar with the guy's game, granted, but coming out of the QMJHL, I mean that could be a good thing. But and then William Horkoff was their last first round pick. He's 6'5", so that's a big guy, and he came out of Michigan. That's a premier hockey college program. So, or he might be going to Michigan. I don't know. I'm not as familiar with him, but I think he'll be all right. And then Pittsburgh wanted a bit of size, but again, reached for him again. They reached for all their first-round picks. Pretty bold decision. The other bold decision was having all these picks for this year's draft. If you're trying to go into rebuild mode, should have done it next year, but whatever. It's Kettle's in the second round, defenseman, 6'6". I kind of like that. A big defenseman. Can throw the body there. Other notable guys, Gabriel Daig. I only know that because of an NHL GM mode. I watch a guy that played NHL. He's doing a rebuild with the Flyers, and that's his goalie right now. Shout out to BC Productions. Goated. So I love that pick just because of that. They drafted Ryan Miller. Yes, totally Buffalo Sabres goalie legend Ryan Miller. Now he's a center in the 5th round. At this point, it just had a few other guys that they snagged. ESPN has this at a B. I'm not entirely against that. You got a lot of guys. I would give this a C plus. I just can't. I can't justify him saying they had a better draft in Chicago. Personally, because just because you draft all these guys doesn't mean they're all gonna. It's a great thing, and they were active in the wrong way for me. But they did get a lot of guys that I do believe are pretty talented. I think you just needed to wait on them a little bit. They did get a goalie, and Pittsburgh has been known to develop great goalies for a couple years, and then they dip and fall apart. It's kind of wild. So, minus a Fleury, obviously, but yeah. So hopefully he'll pan out for them, and I'm curious. Maybe we have Blake on again and see more of his reactions. I just remember texting him that he was not happy with the first 3 picks. So I'm gonna trust that he has a better insight than this ESPN bum. So I think we'll get a C plus in my opinion. But we'll see. These are all big swings. So, and again, as we've emphasized numerous times, in a bad theoretical weak draft class, it could turn out to be elite. We don't know. Guys got to play, but based off of talent that we can see right now is a weaker class, and taking big swings is risky, but we'll see. We will see. Okay, the only other thing. Okay, so we had to trade, but I'll just cover this really quick. I had to shout out Idiot of the Week. Brother's dog's barking. This buddy in the Blackhawks fan page said Fantilli's better than Bedard, and that's probably because he's a stat merchant looking at plus minus like a moron. What is this, 1997? You're still looking at plus minus. Congratulations, Fantilli had a positive plus minus. It's almost like Columbus almost made the playoffs. I mean, my goodness. And he had less points than Bedard, by the way. So if you're going to be a stat merchant, look at that. Bedard had more points, you idiot. So, I know Bedard had like a minus 40. I get it. He's not great defensively right now. But he was the best player on his team by a long shot offensively. He does not have the help he needs. Fantilli, while Columbus is coming into their own as a potential playoff threat next year. They've become a lot better. They're starting to gel. They're starting to develop prospects. They're just in a different phase than the Blackhawks are. Blackhawks should probably be up there, but they're not. Columbus is just in a better position. You just can't compare these two. On top of the fact that I know they're the same age. Bedard's 20. Actually, I don't even think he is 20 yet. So I was just like, settle down. People just need to wait 4 or 5 years. Because McKinnon, I'd like to point out, Connor Bedard, at this point in his career, has I believe he had a better plus minus than McKinnon and more points. And look how Nathan McKinnon turned out. Phenomenal player. Obviously, debatably best player in the world right now. I put McDavid over him, but, McKinnon's done. He's got a ring and he's got multiple Hart trophies. He's done a phenomenal job. So you just got to be patient. So as of right now, Fantilli over Bedard, worst take I've seen in the last couple weeks. That's just idiotic. Fantilli, nice player. All right, I'm not saying you're a bum, but you are not going to be better than Bedard, in my opinion. And last but not least, I'll give you initial reactions here. John Gibson was traded to Detroit. I claimed, does this unmidify him? Does this make him less mid, or are they still mid for trading for a goalie that's a little bit older? And then you wrote Edmonton's the real losers of this trade. So the details of this trade was John Gibson was flipped for Peter Mrazek and then a couple picks. I don't remember which rounds. But what are your initial reactions to this trade?
I mean, I like John Gibson as a goalie. I feel like anytime the Stars played him, I hated him. Just because he was a goalie that played for a sucky team and could still make some pretty good saves. And now that he's older, I feel like you're just swapping two guys that, I mean, I think Gibson's a little better, but at the end of, in my opinion, his career or coming to the end of it, I don't think Detroit gained a whole lot more from this than what they had with Mrazek. I feel like Gibson could maybe steal them 2 or 3 more games, but I feel good for Gibson. The guy finally gets out of Anaheim. Uh, he probably could have gotten out many more times before this, but decided to
A loyal
stay,
guy.
which is honestly, I have respect for that. But was actually open to being moved this year. Edmonton was the one that was linked to him. Maybe Detroit is playing mind games and is getting Gibson to flip him to Edmonton and ask for even more. I
That'd
don't
be
think
wild.
that's going to happen, but could be. I just don't think this drastically changes
No.
Detroit.
Yeah, I agree. There are other goalies, at least based off a quick Google search, were Alex Lyons and Cam Talbot. So you could, if he's still under contract, flip Talbot back to Edmonton, but he is 37. Yeah, I mean, Gibson's still a capable player. And we'll see. Theoretically, Detroit has a better defense than Anaheim for sure. So we'll see how he handles that. Maybe get one last good out of Gibson, but he's really at this point I wouldn't want to be starting him 50, 60 games. I don't want to be my number one guy, but who knows? Maybe he has a career year, turns back the clock in Detroit. I'd say no harm, no foul. Mrazek, dude just being tossed around like a joint. Chicago Blackhawks legend Peter Mrazek, of course. So we'll see. So I think it's just a trade that to me doesn't really benefit anybody, but who knows? I could be totally wrong. I've been wrong about a lot of stuff, so including the stupid Edmonton Oilers in the Cup final. I was almost wrong about Oklahoma City, and if Tyrese Halliburton didn't tear his Achilles, I probably would have been 0 for 2. It was not looking good for OKC, but yeah, for sure. Yeah, true. That's true. That's true. So NHL, that's it for our reactions there. Gonna go quickly to NBA Draft, and just a couple quick things there. So draft reactions. We'll see. ESPN gave the Mavs a B grade for their draft. I'll let you go over that really quick. What are your thoughts on a B grade despite drafting a generational talent?
Yeah, I mean, I understand you fall into the pick, like everyone knows who you're taking, but I feel like that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Well, I would feel disrespected by it. I feel like it's an A at least. I could understand an A minus, but a B plus is absolutely wild. Or a B. It was just a straight B. Is absolutely wild.
Yeah.
Especially with the team that Cooper Flag is coming into. I mean, you won't probably have Kyrie this year, but you still have AD. You have a lot of young talent on that team with Derek Lively, Gafford. I mean, PJ's a little bit older, more experienced, but EJ still. Christie. It's a young team, but still very talented. I just don't understand how you give them a B whenever now adding a dynamic player with Cooper Flag, who is going to score but also can get back and play defense. Jason Kidd, I saw today, said that he's going to play point guard in the summer league. So,
My gosh.
we'll see how that pans out. I don't know how many games he'll play in the summer league, but we'll see what he does as a point guard. I don't think that's where he'll play.
Long term, no.
Whenever
Kyrie's back, yeah, it doesn't make
maybe not
sense.
even with Kyrie. I don't think he'll play point guard whenever the NBA starts up.
It starts,
Plays the first
yeah.
game. I think he's a small forward type of guy, maybe power forward. But yeah, no, I think it's disrespectful. He's going to be a great player, and I'm excited for Cooper Flag, but we still hate Nico.
Preach. Still should be fired. Don't care. You're a bum. But yeah, we know you sold your soul to the devil, Nico. We all know this is probably debatably the most. You, me, and Blake now all officially have. It's some of the most controversial draft rigs of all time. Sidney Crosby magically goes to Pittsburgh after the lockout. Connor Bedard miraculously passes up Anaheim and Columbus to go to Chicago, and now the Mavericks selling their soul, getting rid of Luka Doncic. I still think it's a mistake because you have a generational talent. And, well, maybe not generational just because his defense isn't phenomenal, but, I mean, it's borderline. He's top, cream of the crop. Up there, for sure. And you're banking on Cooper to be this generational player. He should be, but it's not a guarantee. We have seen these guys, Zion was supposed to be a generational talent, and bro's only generational at eating at McDonald's. So, not saying Cooper will do that, but it's not a guarantee. Cooper's got to prove that he can play, but yeah, for sure. I'll hear you on that draft grade for sure. I was just kind of like, I understand why ESPN did it. You fell into the pick. It's a gimme pick. You shouldn't screw this up, but I think I just give him an A because Nico very easily could have messed this up. He very easily could have gone, oh, let's go Ace Bailey. Like the idiot he is. He's like, well, Cooper doesn't play enough defense. And then drafts a guy that doesn't want to interview with literally anybody. That'd be such a freaking Nico thing to do. But yeah, so I'd still give him an A minus at least. So that is crazy. And we'll see if Cooper proves him wrong. He definitely will. So really quickly for me, 2 Illini players were drafted, Yakichonis and Will Riley. Yakichonis going to the Heat. He fell to 20. He's a top 10 player. He was ranked 11th on most boards. He's projected to go top, anywhere from 7 to 10 in a lot of mock drafts. And he just kept falling. And I think it's just an L move, particularly by Brooklyn. Brooklyn had 3 opportunities to take him. And they took four of their first 5 round picks were guards. And you didn't take him. Unbelievable. And maybe he's not going to fit the system that they're going with, but that is just ridiculous to me. And to allow Golden State had the pick actually initially, I believe Miami traded up. So both teams, I was just like, don't let this guy get him. Miami trades up and gets him. Good for them. You got a playmaking guard that could shoot the lights out of the ball. They desperately needed that. Miami needed that in a big way. So that's an A+ pick for me. I know I'm glazing. It's Illinois. Shut up, people. I know I'm meat riding a little bit, but I mean, this kid's gonna be phenomenal. He needs time to develop for sure, but he played in Europe, and I think they'll play to his advantage a little bit. So, and he's got a great coaching him for sure. As much as I don't like him being in Miami, this is a good system because he, Spoelstra's. He's obviously one of the best coaches in the league. He knows ball, and I think he'll develop him really into a star in Miami. So the other guy was Will Riley. I cannot believe that he technically could argue was picked before Yakichonis because he was a part of a trade. So he's a Wizard, but wasn't drafted by the Wizards. He was drafted by the Jazz, I believe, at 22. So the Illinois guys were drafted back to back. Will Riley went 22, which was where he was around to be projected, which is crazy to me because he was, if anybody, should have been the guy that fallen. He's more unproven than Yakichonis. But he plays like a big guy. He's a good scorer. He's just a lot of raw talent. He's just young and, obviously, again, coming out of college after your freshman year, there's a lot of questions as to whether or not he's NBA ready, but I think he'll prove people wrong, and I'm willing to get Wizards merch for sure. So Miami, we'll see, but I'm really excited. It's a new era for Illinois basketball, just getting more guys drafted. A lot of people are upset that they didn't stay. Personally, if you have the opportunity to get drafted, I used to have this mindset where it's like, you backstabbed us, I don't anymore. You have the opportunity to go and represent the university and in the NBA, do it, man. So make us proud. Go ball out, boys. Those are my reactions. So, and we're not going to go over Colin Sexton trade right now. So we got to go over some baseball stuff. And what I'll let you do, I'll let you go into fantasy updates, and then I'll let you talk about I'll do my playoff updates, or fantasy updates too, but then we'll go into the Rangers-Mariners series. So, fantasy updates, what's going on there for you?
Yeah, so as everyone knows, last week made some couple trades. Panned out honestly already. Uh, Picked up a young guy that made his debut, Burns from uh, Cincinnati. Uh, has honestly an electric fastball, and
Mm-hmm.
I think he pumped around 101 was his average or something. Unfortunately, his center fielder decided to dive at a ball that was 8 feet in front of him and
Jeez.
gave up two additional runs that shouldn't have been given up because of it. Overall, I watched the start. It was a really good start. Looked really good. His stuff looked looked nasty. His slider was was actually filthy, and I felt bad. Actually, they were playing the Yankees. I didn't feel bad. Um, it was really Jazz Chisholm was the only one that really saw his pitches really well. Jazz went 3 for 3 off of him, but other than that, he struck out Judge twice, and everyone looked like they were just behind. So he's got good stuff. He's going to be a good. Whether he stays up with the Reds the rest of the year or not, he's going to be a stud for going in the next couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he keeps going with the Reds this year or if they decide to put him back down and let him develop a little bit more and pull him up for next year. But I won 10-1. Should have been 11-1, but Ranger or Suarez
My Suarez blew it. Yeah.
decided to blow it in the ninth inning, so I ended up only winning 10-1 instead of 11-1. But honestly, I needed this kind of victory. I haven't had this kind of victory at all this year. Um, and honestly, will put me in a solid position to continue to stay in second.
Oh yeah, and it'll stay like that for a while because my team is just cooking at the right time, man. I'm gonna win 12-0 after winning 11-1. I mean, my boys are just meshing right now, except for one of my R Suarez's. I just realized I have two R Suarez's on the roster. Robert Suarez probably should go hit somebody on purpose again so I can have the blessing of him being suspended again. This is 6 of the last 7 outings. He's blown 3 saves. ERA is over, 25 in these appearances. He's killing me, so I'm going to have to start benching him. But if that's all I have to complain about, again, I won 12-0, and I'm 20 games ahead of you right now for first. I can't really complain too much. I really got to compliment the guys that were out there. Casey Mize, you did great. Again, when I complain about you, Casey, don't take it personally. It's reverse psychology. Since I sent that text to Daniel, you allowed 1 hit in the last 4 innings. So don't take it personally. It's just a strategy. It works every time. I can't make this up. I complain about a player, they lock in. It just works. Except for Robert Suarez. Bum. So he'll be sitting on the bench the next week or two for me, and I got to decide. He was once the best closer in the league. I might cut him. It's crazy. We'll see. I don't know if I'm comfortable doing that yet. He did just come off a suspension, so regardless, I do have Jason Adam as a backup, so he could just take over that spot. So that's a nice acquisition, getting him. But I mean, pitching right now for me overall though. Ranger Suarez, 5 games in a row of hitting 7+ innings, only allowing 2 or more runs. He was 1-1 this week. Yes. Went freaking 7 innings, didn't allow a run, and lost. And you know what's the craziest part? I had more than one Philly go 7 innings and not get any run support and lose 1-0. Oh, I actually think they lost 2-1 or something like that. But when Zach Wheeler was taken out, he allowed 1 run and freaking lost. So Philadelphia, what the heck are you guys doing offensively? That was insane. Your pitching's lights out right now. I can't provide any support. You know what? I faced a Phillies pitcher that lost 2-1. He went 7 innings and didn't get run support. It was unbelievable. I just feel bad for the pitchers in Philly right now. They're just not getting the support. But yeah, my ERA is just unmatched. I had a blown save, and it's still up to 2.3, 9 saves and holds, 7 quality starts, 6 dubs. I had 10 homers on the week, kind of cooled off at the end. 106 total bases, 40 runs scored, 37 RBIs. I mean, my offense is clicking at the right time. So, yeah, just kind of had the love spread around this week with the offense. Cal, I don't think he hit a home run this week, to my knowledge. He might have hit it in the beginning of the week, but we're all good. You know, he's getting walked a lot. So, overall, going into the next week with another big victory, I'll take it. Going to hit 110 wins before anybody hits 100, so that feels pretty nice. Just got to lock in that first round bye. Looking like you and I will certainly do that, especially with the team in third getting clobbered this week. So, but yeah, that's our fantasy updates. Spencer Schwallenbach and Ranger Suarez, for sure, both of you having multiple 7-inning dominant performances this week. You guys were my players of the week for sure. Just unbelievable. And I haven't had to make any moves this week. My team is kind of stacked right now. So, loser team of the week though, Chicago. I call them shit Sox. That's what a lot of Cub fans call them. Yeah, the White Sox fan taunting Marte over his dead mom. Never cool to do that. You could talk smack about the player all you want. Never make it personal, man. And this is why Chicago's kind of fallen on this list for NFL, though. This is what their fan base does. We make things personal. We talk about how great the past is when it's been 50 years. Oh, except with the Cubs, we know, and Cubs and White Sox, we know, 100 years practically for both teams to win one ring. It's not a good history, but yeah, I mean, just pretty messed up stuff. Great news, MLB, rare W. He's banned from all stadiums permanently, so glad to hear. So, last two things, and then I'll say we're not going to get to another Immaculate Grid. It's just going to take too long, but we will do one more randomized championship just for the fun of it. I'll let you talk about this Rangers-Mariners series, and then I'll let you bring up this stat about the post Pickle Juice Kumar, how he's cooking. So, how's this series going? How's it felt? You just kind of describe what that's been like, and then let you jump into the Kumar stat.
Yeah, so the series has officially ended. All 3 games of the series went to extra innings. The Rangers lost 2-3, unfortunately. Offense, other than today, having guys on second and third in the bottom of the 11th with no outs and not scoring is brutal. But other than that instance, the Rangers' offense has kind of shown up a little bit more. Situationally, I feel like has been our biggest issue. We can score, but not when it comes down to it. I feel like this, other than once again the bottom of the 11th today, this series, the Rangers showed up and were able to move runners when they needed to, especially in Game 1 of the series that also went 12 innings. They were down, I think, 2 in the bottom of the 10th inning, scored 2, and then unfortunately gave up a run and couldn't drive in their guy. And then in yesterday's ball game, they held them in the bottom or the top of the 10th, and then Simeon hit the weakest line drive that I've ever seen, but because the infield was pulled in, looped it over JP, or was it JP? I think JP. Looped it over JP's head and drove in the run. So overall, I feel like the Rangers' offense is back. The pitching has never been the issue this year, except for a couple instances. Kumar was one of them. But overall, I feel like the pitching crew, both starters and bullpen, has had a really good year for the Rangers. It's just been the offense that has struggled. This series just felt like playoff baseball. Close games. When you go extra innings on 3. Very close games. It felt like you had to manage a little bit more than you probably would in a normal regular season game, but I feel like this series meant a lot for both teams. The game
For sure.
either a little bit of ground on the Astros or split the ground between the two of them, because the Rangers are starting to come up on the heels of Seattle. We're 2 games out of 500, which is vastly below what we should be. But we're, I think, 3 games, or maybe 2.5 out of the second place, which is the Mariners. So they needed the series to keep that distance. So it just meant a lot for both teams, and it felt like either postseason baseball or end of the year baseball, where every game actually has meaning and actually matters. But yeah, Kumar had a really good game yesterday. I mean, ever since he came back up from AAA, seems like he is more focused and more situationally aware of what's going on. Because you can get by in the minor league with some little things, but I feel like there was a moment in Game 2 yesterday where he was covering first base. Smith made an amazing play. He was covering first, and instead of turning his back on the play because the guy was on third, he immediately looked at home to see if the Mariner was going. And there was a couple times previously where he didn't do that and the guy scored. So he is more, I feel like, aware of where runners are, when base runners are going to take advantage. He's done a lot better with controlling the run game. There was one instance where Rosarena timed him up and took like 3 steps before Kumar went home. But mostly, he only had 1 steal on him in 6 innings of work. And honestly, that was an improvement. This is the post-Pickle Juice era now. He has gone 16 innings, which is solid. Has a 2.25 ERA. Should Pickle Juice be allowed? That's the new question. Because changed Kumar for the better.
Yeah, I mean, clearly it should be banned. It's an illegal substance. I mean, bro was cramping up, and all of a sudden, he's pitching like an ace. I mean, come on. Pickle juice is clearly the new sticky stuff for pitchers, obviously. So,
now the real question is, will pickle juice be banned first, or the torpedo ban?
I actually think the real question is, will pickle juice be banned before GTA 6? Man, with the way Cal Raleigh is playing, the torpedo ban's getting banned. I mean, clearly, he's, you're playing in that stadium and you're hitting the way you are, and the bat, he was a phenomenal hitter before this, but he's going to pass his career high home runs most likely before the All-Star break. And I love Cal, but there's 2 reasons that he'd be doing that. Steroids? Or because of the bat. Or maybe he's just a generational superstar and he's just coming into his own. I don't know. Maybe that could be it, but I don't know. I think people are going to use Cal as an example and say, yeah, this can't be allowed, and it's going to be unfortunate, but hey, I'm reaping the rewards of Cal with his bat this year, and I'll take it. So, but hey, regardless, he hit switch. He's got 10 homers from the right side, so sounds like a skill issue to me. But yeah, pickle juice obviously should be banned. Disgusting. Find something else to get rid of your cramps. Come on, Kumar. Oh man, but that's a crazy stat. Good for him. He needs to find his confidence, especially with Leiter kind of falling apart in the last couple outings here. So
he did do well today. He pitched 7 innings.
He pitched today. Okay, that's good. Yeah,
so.
he had a couple rough outings recently, so that's a good confidence booster to see him pitch better today. So, but that'll be it for baseball for right now. Cal Raleigh, I love you. It's my weekly glazing of Cal. I mean, come on.
Even though the Rangers shut him down this weekend.
Yeah, darn right. Cal, I expect 2 home runs next week. Otherwise, you're cut. Even if Yahoo has a can't cut list, I don't care. I'll find a way to drop you. No way. I'm not that crazy. But I might be crazy enough to say Fantilli's better than Bedard because his plus minus is better. Freaking moron. Alright, well, so we're going to end this with another randomized championship. Maybe I can redeem myself. You should gotta go with your gut. But I at least had Philadelphia Athletics, I'm sorry, the Philadelphia Warriors in the championship, so I at least had that right. So, share my screen really quickly for the wheel here, and if I can find it, there we go. And it's going to be WNBA, lock it in. If it's WNBA, I can't end on that. We're going to do 2 more. I don't want to embarrass myself. It's going to be WNBA, isn't it? Oh my goodness! First NHL, baby! Oh man, I'm telling you, it's gonna be 2015, and I'm gonna make you try to guess that one. But let me really quickly go over to this list. We go. Yeah, so this will be our last one because we don't need to go NHL Finals bit. I don't remember the first Stanley Cup Finals. I'm gonna say it's probably I think it's the oldest championship besides the MLB. It's older than NFL for sure. So this is where it's gonna get man. Hang on, I typed that wrong. First Stanley Cup Finals. I don't want first winner. This is where it gets really 1918, and there's going to be a lot of teams that we're not going to be able to list. I'm going to try, so it's going to get sketchy in the early 1920s. So we'll move over. Let's see, 1918 to 2025. Please be a recent year. 1996. Okay. That could have been sus. I was getting really scared. It's going to be 1918. I believe this year. So let's think about this. The Stars win in 99.
Yeah.
The Stars won 99. I believe the Red Wings repeat 98 and 97. So I think that leaves us with. I think this is the Avalanche. I know the Avalanche win a cup in the mid-90s, and then win one a little bit later in the early 2000s here, I believe. But I think this is their first. So I'm going to go 1996. I could be wrong, but I feel pretty confident this is them. My question is, I don't remember who they play. It might be the Devils. There aren't really a lot of different choices to choose from around this time. Because it's from like 95 to 03, 04. It was just, Stars, Avs, Devils, Red Wings. They were all powerhouses around this time. So it's, you can really narrow it down for the most part. But I know there's some random ones. I think 97 or 98, the Capitals made a Stanley Cup final. Got their butts kicked, but they made it. So I'm going to go Avs beating the Devils. I feel pretty confident that Avs are right. I feel relatively confident that Devils do lose, but I'm not as certain. So, what is your guess?
I'm going to stick with the Avs.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. You were typing there. That's my bad.
And I'm going to have the Avs beating. You know what? I'm going to say the Flyers. Philly.
I feel pretty confident you're wrong about that. But, I'm not going to tell you what to do. 1996 Stanley Cup Finals. We might be a year early, and that's going to bother me. It might be a year early, or a year late. It'd be a year late. I know the Red Wings wins in 97 and 98. All right. Oh, it might be the Panthers. It might be the Panthers. Oh, crap. This might be Florida. Oh, the Avs beat the Panthers. Crap. Yeah, see. Okay, so I was right about the Avalanche. So we were both right. we were both wrong about the Cup final appearance. I thought the Panthers faced the Red Wings in one of them. So that's why, but yeah, I knew I was not 100% confident about the Devils. But I knew the Avs won this year, so we're at least 2 for 3 there. So let's see who was more correct really fast before we go. Were either team in the playoffs? The Devils had to have been. 1996 Stanley Cup playoff bracket. Let's see if, who was the other team in the Eastern Conference final? Pittsburgh. Okay, so we weren't really that close. Florida was Philadelphia was the second round against Florida. All right, they made it further than Devils didn't even make it this year.
Oh wow,
that's kind of surprising, considering they become a powerhouse like 2 years later. That's wild. So,
in 2000, they beat the Stars.
Yeah, they beat the Stars, and then appear in another one. I think the year after.
In 01, I'm pretty sure.
I think they lose to the Avs in 7, I believe. Yeah, that's crazy. But 2 for 3, we'll take that. I'll end on that note. I'm not going to embarrass myself with another one. So, any final thoughts before we head out?
No, I don't think so. I think we covered it.
Alrighty. Well, we will see you all next week with more Immaculate Grid or normal stuff. And maybe clown on more idiot fans, and continue to rank the NFL teams until we're out and have to move on to the NBA. Do the same thing for the NBA. Till then, we'll see y'all later.